Well, welcome to another edition of J&J House Call. Wait a minute, you're not Dr. Sue, and I'm not Dr. Lucio, and this is not Jefferson City, Missouri. We're here at the Sheltering Branch Farm in Yamhill, Oregon, and we have the wonderful bounty of having Dr. Sue and Dr. Lucio visiting with us.
Hello everybody, my name is Dr. John Lucio. I'm back here again. I practice integrative medicine and pain management in Jefferson City, Missouri. And my beautiful wife, Jennifer Sue, is actually behind the camera today.
Yeah.
My name is Jim Ferguson, and I'm a physician assistant. 30 years of experience working in family medicine. Along the way, I got a master's degree in public health because I'm also interested in population health. A couple of years ago, decided to enroll in the Integrative Medicine Fellowship at the Andrew Weil Center for Integrative Medicine in Tucson, Arizona.
Where we met these
wonderful folks. And I'm very much interested in an integrative approach to health and wellness.
I'm Deborah, and I am a pediatric occupational therapist, children and their families with neurodevelopmental disabilities. And as we entered into this journey of looking at medicinals, and said, what a better way to turn this passion for gardening into like home apothecary. I'm also studying health coaching and qigong to really promote people's health and wellness.
And we're not through this video advocating that people should go out and start taking these herbal remedies or supplements without first consulting with an integrative medicine practitioner or their conventional medicine practitioner. There's a reason why we want to talk about herbal remedies today. You know, herbal remedies have been used for thousands of years. Today, millions of Americans spend billions of dollars annually taking herbal supplements and dietary supplements, and oftentimes don't even tell their conventional medical provider that they're taking such supplements. So it's an important step to discuss some of these remedies, and also to encourage people to look at safety revolving around these remedies. At the end of our session today, we'll go out and take a look at a medicinal herb garden. Start with one herb. So I would recommend starting with one herb, because if we add too many things at one time, and if we have an adverse reaction to something, it's hard to know what specific herbal remedy we are having a reaction to. Start with a low dose of that herb initially to make sure that somebody can tolerate the remedy. If somebody has side effects when taking an herbal remedy, it's a good idea to maybe stop taking the remedy and identify what those specific side effects are, and be aware of them so that you can share that with an integrative medicine practitioner or with your conventional medicine provider as well. Look for herb and medicine interactions that might develop. I think that many of us take medications for other issues, and so when we add herbs to that regimen, sometimes there can be interactions between herbs and medications. A lot of tinctures, a lot of herbal remedies come in the form of tinctures. Tinctures can be made with alcohol. And so when one is taking herbal remedies, it's a good idea not to consume alcohol while taking those remedies as well. If one is pregnant or nursing, until advised otherwise by a specialist such as an integrative medicine practitioner or an herbalist or a conventional medicine provider, it's a good idea not to be taking herbal remedies while pregnant or while nursing your baby. If one is to start an herbal remedy, it's important not to discontinue conventional medicines that you're taking.
Well, for thousands of years, people have been growing much of what they could use for their own healing or collecting it out in the woods. In this whole movement towards taking responsibility for one's health, there's some really easy and fun and safe places to start. And one of the safest places to start is to learn about the culinary herbs and the flowers and the plants that are already growing around you or easy to grow that can be used in the form of food, because food itself is medicine. And any type of plant that you can traditionally eat is generally a very safe plant. Other than if you have a particular individual allergy to something. Teas are a very common way to take medicines. First, we're going to take calendula, and this is a sweet little plant that's in the marigold family, and it does amazing things. Okay, you can use it topically, and you can use it internally, and you can eat it. Okay, Jack. Here you go. It looks really, really pretty on salads.
Yep.
And in because it has immune properties. And I've done that. It looks really pretty in borscht, like with the purple. So this is what it looks like dried. So you can use it for teas and you can throw it in your soups. I prefer the fresh ones in the salads. When you're going to use it for like skin, we took those same dried ones, and this is like organic olive oil. And then what you do is you strain it all out, and here we have calendula oil.
So it's olive oil and calendula.
Yes.
Correct.
So it's an infused. You've taken the olive calendula and you've sat it in over like 6 weeks or more, and you've got all the properties of the calendula in the oil. Then you can use this for like a massage oil or to make salves for your skin, because calendula happens to be really good for burns and bug bites and wound healing. So as a present, we've made you some massage oil.
Oh.
Well,
So
thank you.
this actually is not calendula.
Hi, Jim.
This is this is actually rosemary and lavender combined, so it has a very different sort of smell.
And so we've made some chamomile tea. And so this is chamomile, and so you make the tea out of the flower bud.
Beautiful.
This one here is going to be, Jack, what does this smell like?
It's minty a little
Yeah,
bit.
it's peppermint. Yeah, so this is peppermint from our garden.
Yeah.
And these are the leaves, and you can dry them and then make them into a tea. Then lastly, we have this wonderful herb called Tulsi Holy Basil. And this is a Tulsi basil leaf.
I can smell it.
Yeah, and it really has a lovely flavor to it.
Oh, yeah.
Tulsi basil is an adaptogen, herbal remedies that really doesn't exist in conventional medicine. It's really good for helping to protect us against stress, both physical and emotional and mental stressors.
Okay, we've got chamomile floating. We have the Tulsi basil and peppermint.
If you can
got all
hold
that
it
in here.
just for
And
a
all that is in the cup that Jack is now drinking.
And this is very
I'll
easy
take
to
a picture.
prepare.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's very easy to prepare.
So, oh, there it goes.
And you can get actually one of the safety issues that's really good to consider is sourcing. You want to have really, really good source for your herbals. And when you order dried, we happen to go through Mountain Rose Herbs, which is well known nationally for their organic herbs and their sourcing.
How did
So
you
you don't
pick-
have to
how'd you pick-
grow all of this.
Thank
I
you.
do have
Yeah.
some more things to show here though
It's okay.
before
Yeah.
you do that.
Well, I wanted to answer that question because that's a very good question. So we've got
How long
we've-
have y'all been married?
Yeah, 40 years. That's right. Yeah, Deb says when she wants my opinion, she'll give it to me. Yeah. Jack's question was, well, how do we learn about some of these things? And there are a lot of books available for people to purchase online.
Wonderful. You said you don't have to grow all these herbs yourself. You can mountain
other-
rose.
Or others.
Yeah, you can research your own. We like to know that they're organic and that they're sustainable. So there's lots of qualities that we look at and that they have a really good reputation. This is lemon balm.
Oh, it's lemon balm.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Known for calm and reducing anxiety. This lovely little plant, which is growing about 5 feet high in the garden, is a bee balm, or some people in its wild form, wild bergamot, which people are used to having in like Earl Grey tea. This has been also a form of medicine and food for a lot of years. So today I mixed up what's called an oximal. An oximal is a formula using a vinegar and honey and the plant material. And so this has got equal parts of vinegar, honey, and the leaves and flowers.
No stems, just the leaves and
No, I
flowers,
didn't
yeah.
put the stems in. They're kind of woody, most of the stems. So this is going to sit for 2 to 4 weeks. A little bit longer is going to have it get the properties of it, and it's going to be strained. It's to be an herb that's good for like coughs, especially mucousy kind of coughs. We strain it out, and then this actually love it as a salad dressing. So this is pesto made from the bee balm in the garden.
And we're talking about Tulsi Holy Basil. We're talking about peppermint. But there are many others that we grow in our garden. Rosemary, sage, thyme, oregano, and others. And a lot of these herbs have wonderful medicinal properties. Some of them are antioxidants. Some of them have antimicrobial properties such as antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal. Something really simple to do for the fall and cold, fall cold and flu season would be to have a cup of tea with peppermint and ginger, or peppermint and chamomile. What we do is we store them in jars and put them in our closet, and usually store them in the dark.
It's really good to, you don't want it hanging around for more than a year or so, even dried. So we try to use it up. So
an example of something that could be used in place of alcohol is glycerin.
Yeah.
It's good for people that maybe have issues with alcoholism and don't want to have any contact with alcohol at all. However, they tend not to be as efficacious or as effective as those tinctures made with alcohol, but they still can be very effective. There are also essential oils that can be obtained. And we don't make essential oils here at the Sheltering Branch Wellness Center, so we order them from companies. And as Deb mentioned earlier, there are a variety of different companies that you can order from to get really high quality essential oils. It's important not to get synthetic essential oils, but rather to get the natural oils. And we use a diffuser. You basically fill it up to the line with water. Okay, and then you can add 4 or 5 drops, 6 drops of one or more essential oils, and then it starts diffusing mist into the room. Conifer oils, and I have juniper, silver fir essential oil, eucalyptus essential oil. Here's tea tree essential oil, and here's one with lavender. Many of these essential oils are very effective as antimicrobials. They have antiviral properties, antibacterial properties. For people that have mold in their homes, they can be very effective. And starting in the summer with essential oils in the home just before the cold and flu season hits is a great way to start with prevention measures. During the fall, taking some of the teas that we mentioned, like peppermint and chamomile and ginger, tulsi basil, you can take those together actually. Those help to protect us against viral and even bacterial infections.
one of the things we've been thinking about a lot recently, a number of people who live in areas where there are lots of forest fires. There are people who live in areas with pollution that instigates their asthma. There's where there's a lot of burn from forest fire.
Let's say someone thinking about coming to this wellness farm, what are they going to expect when they get here?
So we're not actually trying to sell products. We're mostly interested in the educational piece, telling on how do you make your own tea, how do you consider like what are the top things you might have in your house, and how do you know this plant, what it smells like, what it feels like, how do you cook with it, and then as part of an integrative medicine practice, that's a whole different layer, ways to interact with the herbal medicine that'll be more prescriptive, I would say, for what Jim does.
But if people come here, they can come and learn about the various herbs, the importance of having healthy soil, all different facets from the moment that herb is in the ground to the moment it's being used as an herbal remedy. We just constructed a 30-foot yurt over in the woods, and we're going to use that for educational opportunities. We have 5.5 acres of wonderful forest land. And walking through the forest and just being with nature, that can be very healing and very healthy. Okay, and just smell.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Yep. And it's a different culinary. Lots of basil in here.
We have marjoram.
Marjoram.
We have dill, fennel,
We've got,
chives.
chives. This is really neat. Yeah, that's fennel.
Oh, it's so,
Yep.
you're so pretty.
Yeah.
Lemon verbena.
Oh, that's a lemon verbena. That's right.
And smell it. It's just marvelous.
It's just, this is lavender. That's lavender, beautiful. We have purple and white lavender. Oh.
There's different types. There's types that are you can dry, types that you can
Just smell that one. There's just. Well, that concludes our time here at the Sheltering Branch Farm and Wellness Center here in beautiful Yamhill, Oregon.
And I want to thank Deb and Jim for their hospitality and showing us around their beautiful farm. So long.